can we just look at the way Meghan used to look at William? Isn't it
Yes.
weird? Like, what was she playing at? She certainly wanted to create some type of bond between the two of them, didn't she? Because even like, yeah, there's always been an odd interaction between them. And I think William, put it this way, from what I've heard, Angela, William had the measure of this woman very early on.
Despite being close during their childhood and teenage years, the looming pressure of the expectations of the crown has driven a wedge between the brothers.
I think the damage that's been done to the relationship through the different media, interviews, the book. There's been parts of it shared that shocked, surprised me, because there's things that he's talked about that royals.
Prince William warned Harry about Meghan Markle from the moment they first crossed paths, and now everything William feared seems to be unfolding before our eyes. The most heartbreaking part? Meghan has completely shattered Harry's bond with William. Reports are now swirling that Meghan allegedly asked Harry for a divorce. Guys, this royal family drama is spiraling out of control. So, buckle up, because this story is about to flip everything you thought you knew about Harry and Meghan's toxic marriage upside down. Right after the late Queen passed away, when they went to see the flowers at Windsor, Meghan kept her distance from Harry, almost as if she was trying to get as far away from him as possible, while slowly edging closer and closer to William. She ended up right behind him, so close you could imagine she was pressing her body against his back, even though no one could confirm that. William would turn to Kate and say something like, "Move over," and Kate would step aside. Meghan would take that space, inching closer and closer. When royal romances move too quickly, the fallout can be disastrous. The royal family has lived through that lesson before. Look at Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Charles proposed to 20-year-old Diana after a whirlwind 6-month courtship. They reportedly met face-to-face just 13 times before getting engaged. We all know how that ended. Heartbreak, scandal, and one of the most infamous royal crises ever witnessed. So, when Prince Harry started dating Meghan Markle in July 2016 and engagement rumors began swirling by 2017, royal eyebrows, including William's, were definitely raised. William, known for taking his time and dating Kate Middleton for 8 years before proposing, was reportedly uneasy about Harry and Meghan rushing into things. According to royal expert Tina Brown, William's concern wasn't just about the pace. It was fear. Fear that Meghan, who was unfamiliar with the strict and often merciless demands of royal life, wouldn't be able to handle the pressure in such a short time. But Harry, the passionate younger brother, brushed off William's worries. Harry reportedly defended their fast timeline by pointing to Meghan's age. She was nearing 35 and apparently told William that her biological clock was ticking, implying that waiting wasn't an option. However, Tina Brown says William's real fear was deeper. He worried about Harry himself. William was concerned that Harry, who had already shown signs of struggling with the intense scrutiny and pressure of royal life, might not survive the storm that Meghan's arrival would inevitably bring. Fast forward to today, and it seems William's fears were well-founded. Divorce rumors have been escalating, and it doesn't look like it's going to be amicable. The word on the street is Meghan Markle has finally called it quits on her marriage to Harry. Insiders say Meghan's been emotionally drained for a long time, and she's confided to her closest circle that every day with Harry lately feels more like a burden than a joy. The cracks reportedly began after their big move to the U.S., their so-called best life in Montecito. But sources claim Meghan quickly grew exhausted by Harry's clinginess. Royal insiders say Prince Harry is in total denial, wandering aimlessly like a man whose world just collapsed beneath him. He's allegedly asking himself over and over, "What did I do wrong?" Completely blindsided by the sudden turn of events. Especially shocking because just weeks ago Meghan publicly declared she would never divorce Harry, despite the rumors swirling non-stop. So what changed? Was that just a carefully crafted PR move to quiet the storm before the real chaos hit? Whatever the truth is, sources say Harry's now an emotional wreck. Meanwhile, Meghan, they say, is already living her next chapter, and there are whispers she's got a tell-all divorce book in the works, and it's going to be explosive. Here's the kicker. A few years back, rumors started floating around the publishing world about another potential book project for Meghan. A source close to the story confirmed that Meghan's team had discussions with a major publisher, not about a typical post-divorce memoir or a generic life story, but something raw and post-divorce. There was no formal proposal, but the concept was there. And get this, Prince William apparently saw all this coming as far back as 2016. That begs a huge question. Is this why Meghan worked so hard to drive a wedge between Harry and his family? Consider yourself warned. If you keep reading, you're diving into deep, dark waters because this story only gets messier from here. As of now, the brothers haven't spoken in over 2 years. And shockingly, Harry is reportedly being uninvited from William's upcoming coronation. It's starting to look like Harry has officially burned the last bridges with the royal family, especially after that explosive BBC interview. In that interview, Harry admitted openly that King Charles won't even talk to him anymore. Royal insiders weren't exactly surprised, but they were done. Done with the drama, done with the public spectacle. Harry said, "There was a lot of control and power in my father's hands. Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him, but he won't speak to me. It would be nice to reconcile." Just 72 hours after that interview aired, King Charles and Queen Camilla appeared on the Buckingham Palace balcony alongside Prince William, Kate, and their 3 kids, calmly celebrating victory in Europe Day as if nothing was wrong. A palace insider reportedly said, "I think it's done. There's no coming back from that. Brutal." Before the interview, there had been some whispers that Prince William might try to extend an olive branch, a peace offering of sorts between brothers. But now, that hope has all but vanished. The same insider added, "Before the interview we thought, come on, William, give him a chance. But now it seems Harry hasn't learned." Ouch! Still, sources close to Harry paint a different picture. They say Harry is still holding out hope for reconciliation. In the very same BBC sit-down, Harry insisted he wants to make peace with his family, saying, "There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. Life is precious." But royal commentator and family friend Hugo Vickers isn't buying it. He pointed out that William isn't obligated to invite Harry to major royal events, like coronations. He can do what he likes. It's not set in stone, Vickers told Page 6, even comparing Harry's current cold shoulder to the Duke of Windsor being snubbed at Queen Elizabeth's coronation in 1953. Meanwhile, behind palace walls, trust is at an all-time low. Sources say no one in the royal circle trusts Harry or Meghan anymore, especially after years of bombshell interviews, documentaries, and tell-all memoirs. From Oprah to Netflix to Spare, the Sussexes have laid everything bare, and the firm is in no mood to forgive. One royal insider said it bluntly, "I genuinely think nobody trusts him. That's the bottom line. The royal family has major trust issues with him and Meghan. That's why they can't have a relationship." This shocking revelation dropped right after Harry's controversial BBC interview, where he not only opened up about his estrangement, but also revealed King Charles's ongoing battle with cancer, saying he didn't know how much longer his father had to live. That comment hit a nerve. According to sources, Charles is currently refusing to even speak to Harry, despite Harry's efforts to connect during his April 2024 visit to the UK for the Invictus Games. Royal author Hugo Vickers slammed Harry's comments as disgraceful. If Charles isn't talking to him, how does he know anything about his health? Vickers also made a telling comparison to the late Princess Diana. He recalled how Prince Philip once said every time Charles spoke to Diana, their private conversations, ended up in the tabloids. Now, he says, it's Harry and Meghan who have earned that reputation. Since moving to America, Harry and Meghan lost their private security privileges, a status Harry has been fighting desperately to regain. Harry insists that without access to UK intelligence, his family isn't safe on British soil, which is a major sticking point stopping them from returning with their children. But the palace has flat out refused to restore their private security, and King Charles reportedly ignored Harry's messages to discuss the issue privately. As Vickers said, capturing exactly how many in the royal circle feel, and perhaps most tellingly, Page 6 reported that Charles has only seen his grandchildren a handful of times. A truly heartbreaking footnote in a story now defined by distance, both physical and emotional. Despite Harry's very public calls for reconciliation, his actions, from the spare memoir to non-stop media interviews, seem to have pushed the royals to their absolute breaking point. And honestly, a lot of this drama has everything to do with Meghan. And let me say it again, Prince William kind of saw all this coming. Right after Harry and Meghan started dating, they had a very casual drop-in with the Queen at Royal Lodge, just a simple post-church hangout with Her Majesty. According to royal author Tina Brown, the Queen didn't throw any shade. She was just genuinely happy to see her grandson smiling again. But honey, behind the scenes, Prince William was sweating bullets. He's known Harry long enough to spot a pattern. Every new romance Harry's had ended up blowing up in drama. When Harry was gushing about whisking Meghan off to Botswana, William, already spotting red flags, couldn't keep quiet anymore. He casually told Harry, "You do realize this is the fourth girl you've taken there?" Oof. At first, William played it cool. When he finally met Meghan over tea at Kensington Palace, he said something sweet like how happy he was to see that silly grin back on Harry's face. Cute, right? But Tina Brown reveals that behind the politeness, William was seriously worried. Meghan was leaving everything behind in America, ditching her acting career and jumping headfirst into a world she barely knew. And not just any world. This was the brutal, unforgiving British tabloid meat grinder. Not Hollywood, but something far harsher. And here's the real kicker. When William gently urged Harry to slow things down, Harry hit the fast-forward button. Why? Because allegedly, Harry believed the only way to protect Meghan from the relentless media circus was to marry her ASAP and give her royal-level security. But was Harry wrong? Rumor has it Meghan was on a mission to start a family quickly. Even Harry admitted in spare that William was discouraging about the whole relationship, shading Meghan with that now infamous American actress line, delivered like he was, talking about a criminal record. Fast forward to today, and Harry's world is falling apart, and his brother, nowhere to be found when he needs him the most. So what do y'all think about this? Was this all part of Meghan's plan from the start? To separate Harry from his family and ultimately destroy him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our previous videos so you don't miss any of the latest tea. Till next time, bye.